Okay, this is 2 days later. You can see all the brackets off, leaf springs off. Got the axle, or the frame, bump stops sitting on top of the axle. What I did is I got my ratchet straps. I measured from center line of the sway bar bolt to the center of to the back of the perch, and got them both sides matched. Then I measured from the backing plate to the frame, got them perfectly matched. So now my rear axle is completely centered where it needs to be. When I first dropped the frame onto the axle, it rolled backwards, and the slip joint here in the drive shaft was sticking out almost 3 inches. So I had to redo it all. Had to cut both emergency brake cables. This one was already cut at the backing plate. This one's so rusted it wouldn't move. And as you can see on this side, it's rusted through pretty good. It's got a rust hole started there. So what I was doing is the step side bed is 6 feet 7 inches inside, front to back. So I measured from the center line on top of the rear axle back 3 inches and whatever, and then 3 feet 3.5 inches, and then did the same coming forward. That puts me, here's the inside of the bed. Usually you allow 1.5 to 2 inches for your front section of the bed, and then clearance for the cab. Well, that left me this whole section, which is 10 inches, that needs, the frame's too long. And my plan was to lengthen the cab on the 59 9 inches, which would have been there, but I might as well just go ahead and do another inch, so it's a 10-inch extension. So I thought about cutting that section out, but after rethinking it this morning, what I'm looking at is, since this is rusted out here, it's rusted out on the other side, take this cross member, move it forward, cut this section out 10 inches. As you can see, it's also tore. So yeah, I think that's the way to go. Then that way I still have solid frame up here to mount everything. The frame originally was sitting about 1.5 inches above the tires, so you can see it's dropped drastically, but still not sitting low enough. Let me get a level. Okay, I got my level up there now. So let's see, how much did it actually drop? Oh, 5 5/8 plus 1.5 inches puts me at 6 7/8 of an inch. So, and right here, I'm approximately 17 inches off the ground. So I need to come down at least another 8 inches there. So I am going to have to either notch the frame or Z the frame to make that progress. What else was there? Yeah, since I couldn't get the bolts loose on the front coil spring, what I did was I just popped the spring out of the socket or stuff. I've been spraying PB Blaster down in there to try and loosen that up, the rust. but I wanted to see how low this would go with the coil spring out of the pocket. As you can see, I still got about an inch below before the bump stop touches the I-beam and stuff. Just playing around with different ideas till I get something solid figured out. But yeah, overall, it doesn't look sky high now compared to what it was before. So anyways, that's it. I did forget to mention that I am going to weld a plate from the axle tube up to the frame and stuff. That way it locks in the axle while I do all this work until I'm ready to do the suspension and how I want to get it set up. So yeah, that's the update.